Hi guys, in my video today I would like to talk about how to do SAT practice test 1 section 3. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, the first question. If x minus 1 over 3 equals k and k equals 3, what is the value of x? This is a very straightforward question. So all you need to do is just to plug in the k, replace the k with 3. So eventually you have x minus 1 over 3 equals 3. Then to get rid of the denominator 3, you multiply both sides by 3, you cancel out this. Finally you have x minus 1 equals 9 plus 1 on both sides. Then you're gonna have x equals 10. So the answer is D. Alright, this is a very easy question. Okay, and question number 2. Question number 2 is also very straightforward. Okay, we do know that I is the square root of -1, and you also find the sum, which means you need to add them up. So when you add them up, you just get rid of the take away the parentheses, and followed by plus and minus give you a minus, plus and plus give you a plus, right? So it's minus 8 plus 9i. So and then the next step is you group the like terms, number with number and I with I. So it's going to be plus 3i plus 9i. And the whole thing will be -1 plus 12i. Okay, this is it. So the answer is A, -1 plus 12i. Alright. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. On Saturday afternoon, Aman sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. And Tyron sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Aman and Tyron on Saturday afternoon? Forgive me if I did not pronounce the names correctly. Okay, so it is talking about the total number of messages sent by both Aman and Tyron. Okay, so for Aman, you have he did 5 hours, so it's going to be 5 hours multiplied by the number of text messages that he did, which is M, so it's going to be 5M. And for Tyron, he did 4 hours and each hour is P text messages. Okay, so it's going to be 4 times P. And when you talk about the total, right, that would be just the sum of the 5M and 4P. So obviously the answer is C. Okay, here you go. Okay, question number 4. Katie is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of the day can be estimated with the equation P equals 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? Okay, to deal with this question, right, you need to have some basic knowledge of linear equation. And I think you guys should know that the slope-intercept form of a linear equation will be y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope and the b would be the y-intercept. Okay, and so when you try to make a comparison for this equation that says P equals to 108 minus 23D, right, and you can rewrite it by switching the order of the variable and the constant by writing this way. Okay, then you can see that, right, the 108 would be the y-intercept and the -23 would be just the slope of the line, the linear equation. Okay, so when you try to draw a y-intercept form, right, a line of y-intercept form, okay, you can see that the slope is negative. That means it's going downhill. It's going downhill from left to right. It's going downhill, and that value would be the y-intercept, which is 108. all right, and the x-axis will represent the days, and the y-axis will represent the p-value. Okay, so you can see that, right, when she start doing her work, right, on the line 0 means that the day that she start doing her work. For each day that goes like this increase, for each increased day she will have the number of phones repair more and more. In other words, the number of 108 will reduce. And so when you take a look at this value, right, it says that what is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? All right, the meaning is this is what she starts with. This is the number of phones that she starts with for repairing. Okay, so you can just, for the multiple choice here, you can just try to look for the one that says the phone that she starts with, and you can see that the answer will be B. Katie starts each week with 108 phones to fix. All right, this is a starting point. All right, and when it goes, and when days pass by, she will repair more and more, and which is why the line is going down, the slope is going down. Okay, so the answer is B. Question 5, it says which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? All right, to do this question you need to group the like terms. So you have x squared y, which is the same as x squared y here, and you have 3y squared, and over here you have 3y squared as well, and finally you have 5xy that match with 3xy squared. Okay, so that means you can go x squared y minus give you a plus x squared y, followed by negative 3y squared, minus give you a positive as well, 3y squared, and then 5xy squared, xy squared, minus positive 3xy squared, that will give you a negative 3xy squared. Then you move on, you can see that you have two like terms over here, you add them up, that becomes a 2x squared y, and this cancel out because negative and one negative and then one positive will cancel out, followed by 5xy squared minus 3xy squared, then it's going to be 2xy squared. Right, this is it. So the answer is C. Okay. Question number 6. A pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height age of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age, A, in years, between the ages of 2 and 5. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height in each year? Okay, so you can see that 28.6 is a constant, a fixed number that will not change. When you change the value of A, you add with 28.6 all the time, no change, so it's a constant. So the value that affects the height of the boy would be the A. All right, so let's say, okay, start from A, which is A is 1, we're talking about the first year. All right, when A is 1, the height will be 3 times 1 plus 28.6. There will be 3 plus 28.6. Okay, when A is 2, you're going to have H is 6 plus 28.6. When A is 3, you're going to have 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 28.6. So what you can see is that these are all fixed numbers. All right, what will change is this. It will change from 3 to 6 to 9. And for each year, the boy's height change from 3 to 6. That means it increases 3 inches in terms of the height. And same thing for the next. So when you keep going, that means you keep adding 3 and 3, keep adding 3 and 3 again. So so this is it. The answer is A. Okay, question number 7. The formula above gives the monthly payment M needed to pay off a loan of P dollars at R% annual interest over N months. Which of the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N? So that means you need to isolate the p. You got to move everything else to the left hand side. Okay, actually do not be intimidated by all this complicated expression, like you got a lot of fractions and numbers getting involved. No worries. Okay, you can just make the top, the whole thing, all right, as maybe an A, and the bottom, the whole thing, as a B. Then it will look much simpler. So you're gonna have M equals AP over B. Okay, so you get rid of the B by multiplying both sides by B. You're gonna have BM equals AP. The next thing is to divide both sides by A to get rid of the A in order to isolate the P. So you're gonna end up P equals BM over A. All right, now that's the answer, and let's just look for the ones that looks like this. And what is B? As I said, B is this, right? So you can see, try to find one that has a B here. I think it is I mean, choice B would be it. Right? 1 plus yes, this is B. The answer is B, because, and the A would be the top with 2 parentheses. This is 2 parentheses with the N here, right? And we have M over here, so you can see that, right? The M match with this, and the B match with this, and the A match with this. So the answer is B. Okay, done. Number 8. If A over B equals 2, what is the value of 4B over A? Okay, you can see that the B over A here is the reciprocal of A over B. So the first thing you do is, if A over B is 2, 2 actually can be over 1, and the reciprocal of B over A will just be, you flip the 2 and 1 and then make it half. After that, you put 4 in the front to make it 4B over A as what is asked by the question, and you're gonna have a 2 here. So the answer is 2. Very easy. All right, done. Okay, and number 9. What is the solution? XY to the system of equations above. All right, over here you need to rearrange the X and Y so that they can be on the same alignment. So the first equation will be 3x plus 4y equals negative 23. I'm going to rewrite this as negative x plus 2y equals to negative 19, so that they are in the right order. And you can see that the coefficients for both variable yx and y are different, so you have to make one of the variables having the same coefficient. Maybe you can just pick the y. Okay, and I'm going to multiply this by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to end up having negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 38. Alright, so now I have 2 equations having the same coefficient for y, which is a 4. Okay, that means I can eliminate the 4y and 4y by doing subtraction. So 3x minus negative 2x will be 5x, because 2 negatives give you a positive. So it's 3x plus 2x, so you got 5x. And then 4y minus 4y, okay, cancel out. Then you're going to have negative 23 minus negative 38 will be negative 23 plus 38. That will give you 15. Right? Yeah, okay, so, and you divide both sides by 5, you will get x equals 3. X is 3, and then you can just plug in x is 3 in one of these equations. Just plug in here, okay? So 2y, plug in here, I mean. So it's 2y minus 3 equals 19. 2y will be, you plus 3 on both sides, you get negative 16. So y is negative 8. So the answer is B. Right? X is 3, Y is -8. The answer is B. Okay, question number 10. It says if for the function g defined above a is a constant and g4 is 8, what is the value of g -4? Okay, and since it says that g4 is 8, right, and it is based on the function that based on this function, right? So that means you can just go g4 equals replace the x with a 4, so you're gonna have 8 times 4 squared plus 24, and according to what it says, it is 8, right? So that means the whole thing equals to 8. So you're gonna have 16. 4 squared is 16. 8 plus 24 equals 8. Minus 24 on both sides. Okay. You have 16a equals -16, and then you have a is a -1. So a is -1, and that means we have successfully find the correct expression of g of x, which is g of x would be -x squared plus 24. Okay, now since the question is asking for g -4, so you can go g -4 equals -4 square plus 24. That will give you -16. Okay, plus 24. So and -16 plus 24 would be 8. So the answer is A. Okay. All right. 11. In the equations above, B and C represent the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken, respectively, X weeks after July 1st during last summer. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? So when B equals C, all right? So you can just replace the B here with a C, because it says they are the same. So you can just put C equals 2.35 plus 0.25x, followed by the second equation, C equals 1.75 plus 0.40x. So since they are both C, right, that means this and this will be the same. So the next thing you're going to do is you write 2.35 plus 0.25x will be equal to 1.75 plus 0.40x. Now you group the like terms. So you move the 0.4x to the left hand side, and you move the 2.35 to the right hand side, and you end up having 0.25x minus 0.40x equals to 1.75 minus 2.35. Okay, and that would be negative 0.15x equals to 1.75 minus 2.35. You end up having a 0.35 plus 25 is 60. So it's negative 0.60. And then that means x would be 4. You divide both sides by 0.15. Then you get x would be equal to 60 divided by 15. And because they are both negative, right, that means they can be changed to positive. So, and then that means x is 4. And you're asked to find per pound of chicken. So we are using this to find the price of the chicken. Okay, and so the next thing is you just plug in the 4 onto this equation. Then you will get price of the chicken. C would be equal to 1.75 plus 0.4 multiplied by 4. Then you're going to have 1.75 plus 1.6, which is going to be 3.35. Here you go. Okay, the price of the chicken is 3.35. So the answer is D. The answer is D. Okay. Question 12. A line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1/7. Which of the following points lies on the line? Okay, so just draw a straight line, a linear equation on the graph according to the information given. It has a slope of 1/7, which means the change of y over the change of x equals 1/7. So we are looking at a line that has a shape that goes like this, has a direction that goes like this. Okay, and it's because it says it's passed through the origin, right? So that's the origin, and the ratio would be these, the change of y over the change of x. Okay, that's how we find the slope. And since it says it's 1/7, right? So that means this is 1 and that is 7. So from here to here is a 7. And the vertical height would be 1. So we are looking at a coordinate in such a way that when we divide the y by x, you end up having a 1/7. Okay, so you are to, this is kind of like a guess and check question. You study each and every multiple choice and to see which one will give you a 7. So I mean, to see which one will give you a 1/7. So you can see that for A is 7/0. 7/0. This is undefined. So no, A is not. And for B is 7/1. You end up having a 7. But we are looking for 1/7. So this is not 2. And for C is 7/7, then you're going to have a 1. It is not 2. And for D, you will have 2/14. That will give you a 1. That can be simplified to 1/7. Yes, this is it. This is the answer, okay? 14 and 2. All right. A lot of students tend to like take things for granted. When they see 1/7, then they straight away pick B. They pick B because they see 1 and 7. No. Okay? This is a tricky question. So that means a lot of times we need to be careful. When we read the question, we need to be careful. Pay attention to every detail of the question, all right? Do not take things for granted. By just looking at 1/7, then you automatically think that the answer is 1/7. No, it's not that easy, right? It's kind of tricky, so think carefully, okay? 13. It says, if x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent to blah blah blah, okay? And I would suggest you guys to do this part first, all right? To make it easier. So 1/x plus 2 plus 1/x plus 3. So to deal with this, you need to find the common denominator, the CD, common denominator. The common denominator would just be the product of the denominators of the two fractions, okay, which is x plus 2 and x plus 3 over, and over here is going to be 1 times x plus 3 plus 1 times x plus 2. Okay, so you end up having a x plus 3 plus x plus 2 over. Now you take a look at the answers given, right? The answers has the denominator, which is an x squared over here. So obviously, same thing here. You see x squared, all right, and x squared, and this is definitely out. You don't have to consider that, and which means you need to distribute these two parentheses in order to get the polynomial expression with x with the degree of 2. So you distribute, you will end up having an x squared. You go like this, right? X times x and then x times 3, 2 times x, and then 2 times 3. Alright, so you get plus 3x, x squared plus 3x plus 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. So eventually you have, you group the like terms, x plus x would be 2x on the top, and 3 plus 2 will be 5 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. And now you put it back to, you put this back to here. So that means you're gonna have, do not forget you have a 1 on top, right? That means you're gonna have 1 over this whole thing, 2x plus 5 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. And to deal with that, you need to like flip this up, right? You flip it when the reason is because when you divide 1 by all the fractions here, you can rewrite like this. Let me just prove it to you. 1 divided by 2x plus 5. This is the same as 1 divided by 2x plus 5 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. So when we do the division for the fraction, we change it to a multiplication sign, right? 1 times. When you change to multiplication sign, we need to flip the denominator and the numerator. So we end up having an x squared plus 5x plus 6 over 2x plus 5. So this is the answer. 1 multiplied by everything would be the same thing. Okay, so the answer would be B. The answer is B. Right, this is it. Okay. Right, let's just move on to question 14. It says if 3x minus y equals 12, what is the value of a to the power x over 2 to the power y? Okay, to deal with that, let me just write it again, a to the x to 2 to the y. Alright, okay, so you can see there's a very close relationship between 2 and 8, because 8 is the multiple of 2, which means 8 is equal to 2 to the third power. Is that right? So I can replace the 8 with 2 to the third, followed by the x as the exponent, divided by 2 to the y again. And that will give me 2 to the 3x over 2 to the y. Okay, and there's a formula you must memorize, which means a to the m divided by a to the n, which is a to the m over a to the n, like that. Then you just minus the exponent. And this is a similar case. So you minus its exponent, that means you end up having 2 to the 3x minus y. Okay, in this case 3x is the m and the y would be the n. Alright, and according to the question it says that 3x minus y is 12, right? So you can replace the 3x minus y with 12. So it's 2 to the 12. And that's it. The answer is A. Alright, okay. And question 15. It says that if blah 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 equals to blah 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 for all values of x and a plus b equals 8, what are the two possible values for c? To do this, you need to distribute again, multiply it out. Alright, and that means you're going to have I'm going to do it here. So let me copy the question again so that I have more space. Ax plus 2 times bx plus 7 equals 15x squared plus cx plus 14. Okay, multiply it out, I will end up having a abx squared. This by this is abx squared. This by that would be 7ax. A times bx would be 2bx, and 2 times 7 will be 14, equals to 15x squared plus cx plus 14. Alright, we need to rearrange the term a little bit. I mean the middle part. We need to like make it look better in terms of comparing this with the cx. So what we should do is I'll still write the AB x squared, and over here I will factor out the x. And inside the parentheses there will be 7a plus 2b plus 14 again equals to 15x squared minus cx plus 14. Alright, now this is the same, so we can just rule them out and just compare. You can see that the AB would be 15. You compare the like terms, the AB would be 15, and the like terms for x, right, that will be the c. 7a plus 2b will be equals to negative c. Okay, and so let's just write down AB is 15, and then 7a plus 2b would be negative c. Alright, and the question asks for what are the two possible values for c, right? Alright, if you want to know the value of c, you got to know the value of a and b. Okay, so let's take a look at this AB. The possible combination, the possible factors for AB for 15 would be 3 and 5, 1 and 15. Okay, but the thing is, it says a plus b is 8, right? So if a plus b is 8, obviously that a and b, it could be it could be a5 and b3 or a3 b5. It can be 1 and 15 because when you add 1 and 15 it's going to be 16, but this is 8. So the possibility is it could be a is 3, b is 5, or a is 5, b is 3. Okay, and oh, my bad, over here I should have put plus. I don't know why I put the minus. That's why I was like wondering, hey, how come this is a minus here? All right, my bad. Okay, that should be a plus because I mean, everybody makes mistake. Okay, fine. Now if a is 3 and b is 5, then that means c would be 7a plus 2b. Then it's going to be 7 times 3 plus 2 times 5. Right. So 21 plus 10, you end up having a 31. Okay, that is good for this. And if a is 5 and b is 3, then c would be also 7a plus 2b, and it's going to be 7 times 5 plus 2 times 3. So you're going to have 35 plus 6, you end up having a 41. So okay, this is it. These are the two possible values for c. Alright, so the answer would be D, 31 and 41. This is it. Right. Question 16. If t is greater than 0, which means t is positive, and t squared minus 4 equals 0, what's the value of t? So this is very easy as well. Just add 4 on both sides. So you're going to have t squared equals to 4, and then the square root of t squared will be the square root of 4, and eventually you have t equals 2 equals 2, plus or minus 2. Okay, plus minus 2. So what's the value of t? You can just say t equals 2. That should be good enough. Okay, and question 17. A summer camp counselor wants to find a length x in feet across a lake as represented in the sketch above. The length represented by AB, EB, BD, and CD on the sketch were determined to be 1800 feet, 1400 feet, 700 feet, and 800 feet respectively. And angle AEB, AEB, and angle CDB have the same measure. So angle AEB, AEB over here is the same as CDB over here. Okay, they're the same. All right, these two angles are the same. All right, what is the value of x? So you have to find x. Okay, so if this angle is the same as that angle, you can see that they are parallel. That means they are parallel. This line segment AE is parallel to line segment DC. Okay, and what you can do is you can do ratio. We can use ratio to solve this question. Right, it says that AB is 1800. AB is 1800, and EB is 1400. EB 1400. Okay, 700 is BD. This is 700, and 800 would be CD. This is 800. Okay, so we can see that triangle ABE is similar to triangle BDC. They're similar. Okay, that means you can say that the ratio of the sides of triangle ABE would be the same as the ratio of the sides of the triangle BDC. Okay, so you're asked to find x, right? So you can go the ratio x divided by x is a straight line, vertical line, right? Okay, you can compare the x with 800. So compare the x with 800, x with 800, and over x over AB would be same as the 800 over BC. But the thing is, we do not have the BC, the measurement of BC. Okay, so that means we should change to using 1400. X over 1400. Okay, x over 1400 would be the same as 800 over 700. This compared to this, and this compared to that one. So okay, and over here 700, right? 700. And you can simplify, cross out the 0, and then we can keep going by writing x over 1400 equals to 8 over 7. Okay, I'm going to move on to here, and you're going to have, you can cross multiply. Okay, cross multiply, you're going to have 7x equals 8 times 1400. Okay, and I am not going to multiply out the 8 times 1400, but I will do it in a smarter way by dividing both sides by 7. You see, it will be much easier, because I can see that 7 can go into 1400. 7 going to 7 is 1 time. 7 goes into 1400 will be 200 times. Okay, and then 8 times 200 will be 1600. Okay, and that is the answer. Alright, so that's the value of x. Okay, x is 1600. Alright, question number 18. According to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? You're asked to find the value of x, so that means you need to get rid of the y. To get rid of y, the thing is, you can see that the coefficient for these two equations for the variable y are different, so you need to make them the same. And this is a 2, so you got to make this y with the coefficient of 2 as well by doing multiplication. Multiply both sides by 2. Okay, then you're gonna have 2x plus 2y equals 18. And let me just write down the second equation over here. I'm going to move it down here. X plus 2y equals negative 25. Okay, and then over here you can see I have 2y and 2y, so that means I can minus to eliminate the 2y. When I minus 2x minus x is x, and this one, these two variable will cross out, and then this is going to be negative 18 minus negative 25. That means it's negative 18 plus 25. So x would be 7. Alright, here you go. That's it. Okay. Question 19. In a right triangle, one angle measures x degree, where sine x degree is equals to 4 over 5. What is cosine 90 minus x? Okay, there is a trigonometric rule about sine and cosine that you guys should know, is that if sine A equals cosine B, then A plus B must be equals to 90 degrees. Alright, now you take a look at this. We have x, we have 90 minus x. So obviously, these two angles, when you add them up, you will end up having what? You will end up having this cross out, right? X minus x is gone. You will end up having 90, which is the same as what the rule says here, 90 degrees. That means you can say sine x will be equal to cosine 90 minus x. Same thing as saying sine A equals cosine B. As A plus B is 90, x plus 90 minus x is also 90. That means it can be fit for the rule that says sine A equals cosine B. So that means you can conclude that since over here it says that the sine x is 4 over 5, so it's 4 over 5. Very simple. Easy, okay? That's it. Okay, the last question of section 3, question 20. It says if A equals 5 times square root of 2 and 2A equals square root of 2x, what is the value of x? Okay, over here you can see that this is A and that is 2A, right? So I can put the 2A, 2 in the front here. That means I need to multiply this by 2 as well. So that means it's going to be 2A equals to 2 multiplied by 5 root 2, radical 2. And I'm going to have 2A equals 10 radical 2. Alright, what is the value of x, right? And we know that it says 2A is the same as square root of 2x, so I can replace this with square root of 2x. Alright, and equals to 10 root 2, radical 2. The next thing is you square both sides to get rid of the square root sign, and I'm going to end up having a 2x equals to 1. Okay, I'm going to do it slowly, right? 10 times root 2, 10 times radical 2. That will give you a 100 times 2. Radical 2 times radical 2 will be the 2 itself. Okay, 100 times 2 will be 200, and the 200 is the 2x. So the next thing is, finally, we can just divide both sides by 2 to get the value of x, which is 100. X is 100. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy my video. I hope I have done something for you guys in terms of learning math, in terms of solving the questions in section 3, SAT practice test 1 section 3. Okay, see you guys next time. Thank you.